Hello, my PMP friends. How are you? I hope you're doing well. It's day 37, and you know today is a day we go in on process. What do I mean by that? Well, it's the day you take the process mock exam. You log on to the learning system, you take the mock exam, you find your gaps, you close your gaps. But before you do that, let's first of all give some direction about where to go. You need to go to process.hpmexam.com. You can sign up for the mock exam there. But before you attempt the mock exam, let me remind you what process is all about. Knowledge areas, process groups, processes, and formulas. Now, they're not that big on the exam anymore, but knowing what the formulas do, knowing why SPI and CPI deal with the value less than 1 as being bad, greater than 1 as being favorable, but it depends on how far greater than 1, right? Right on 1, it means on target. Schedule variances, what do those mean? So you got to know some stuff for the exam just in case they come from that angle. Methods, models, artifacts, theory, frameworks, and practices. Now let me give you a very quick reminder about the mindset to have for the process piece. The process piece, you want to be on your guard regarding the life cycle because you got to select the right life cycle for the appropriate project. If you have a project that is delivering incrementally, then of course you cannot use predictive. You shouldn't be thinking of using iterative. So you got to be on your A game when it comes to life cycle. Hybridization is big, the agile mindset. You got to know the manifesto values and the principles. You also need to be thinking in a systematic and strategic way when you're navigating this part of the exam. Be ready to deal with change, project change, configuration management as well. If you don't know the differences between those two, make sure you do. Configuration management is more about version control for artifacts, widgets, configurable items, whereas change management is more about the change on the project of customer requesting change, going through the change control board and things of that nature. You do understand that for configurable items, those version controls are in place and you do not need to go through CCB for those. Those are configuration management items. The concept of inspect and adapt, problem solve, quality and the iron triangle is important. Risk and governance, managing all areas. You got to be ready to roll with any knowledge area, and buy-in and authorization is also important. And last but not least, the closing aspect. And when I say closing, I'm talking more about the closing of the entire project and the closing of a phase in the project. Okay, so here we go. There you have it. You can see the closing aspect is last, and this is from my process mindset mantra. Make sure you got all those down pat. Okay, now we're going to go to the next step, which is going over the process aspects again. You do recall there are 17 different tasks under process. They are very well covered in the PMP exam Immersion book. So if you do not have that book, I would recommend that you get it. Okay? Again, the final process mock exam is going to have things about the PMBOK guide, definitions, processes, domains, tasks and data flows, methods, practices, logic, process flow, value delivery, and agile. Okay? Shifting gears here, let's begin talking about the process domain in more detail. So at a high level, you got to be ready to deal with value, executing for value, understanding incremental, understanding agile, iterative, predictive, hybrid. That is going to help you. Understanding communications management. Number 3, assess and manage risks. You got to be all over the topic of risk when it comes to easy, right? Exploit, accept, share, enhance, escalate. And then on the negative side, A-team, avoid, transfer, escalate, accept, mitigate. You got to remember those. It's going to probably be significant. Risks versus issues is quite big on the test. All right. Moving along, we have stakeholder management. Understand your different stakeholder models, power interest grid, influence impact grid, stakeholder cube, salience model, things of that nature, managing budget and resources, managing the schedule, and remember, pages 90 to 95 in the Agile Practice Guide is actually going to help you with these ones. It's not enough for you just to read PMBOK Guide chapters. You've got to read the Agile Practice Guide, and how the Agile Practice Guide breaks it down, breaks the knowledge areas down from an Agile perspective. That is big. Number 7, quality, understanding the events in Agile that are for quality, same for scope, same for integration. When it comes to planning, you got to remember that in the world of Agile, the whole concept of integration is not one person's job, it's the team's job. Okay, managing project changes, planning and managing procurements. Remember, we've talked about all of this stuff, my friends. This is nothing new to you. Managing project artifacts, determining the right methodology to use, the concept of project governance, talking about project governance structure, that is important. Last but not least, manage project issues, project continuity. In other words, all about the knowledge transfer. And last but not least, number 17 is about managing project or phase closure. So that's it, my friends. I think at this point, you should be ready to jump into the process mock exam. Don't hold back. Don't be scared. Go ahead and deal with this mock exam. Process.hpmexam.com. No need for any HTTP before process. Just type in process.hpmexam.com. It'll take you to our site, and there you will be able to get access to this mock exam and do it. Just do it, okay? For the price of lunch, that is, okay? In closing, if you feel you need to go even further, I would recommend signing up for our next PMP exam immersion course. They're half-day boot camps. They usually happen on Sundays. Go on down to hpmexam.com and sign up for the next one coming up, okay? In closing, I would say if you feel ready, maybe you've taken the mock exams already, you're ready for the final mock, you can get the final mock at mock.hpmexam.com. That's the final. That's the 180 question final mock. Okay? That is the grand finale. I'm going to be covering that though. So our friends who are learning with us are welcome to join. I'm going to put a link to the Zoom. We're having a Zoom call on the 24th of October, and we are going to be having day 40 live. If you want to be part of that, make sure you hit that link and join in, okay? Thank you very much, my friends. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. Remember, we've still got a couple more days before we hit the final. See you soon.